Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. How are you all? Hope you are fine. Welcome to the new session 2020. Welcome to class 3. Open your books. We start with unit number 1. The name of the unit is the amine and the eggs. Once upon a time there was a man called Amin. He lost all his crops in a drought. Amin decided to look for work in another village, and off he went on his donkey. Before he left, he bought a dozen hard-boiled eggs from a merchant and promised to pay him later. 7 years later, Amin returned to his village. He came on a fine black horse. Behind him was a camel carrying bags full of gold and silver coins. Amin was a rich man now. The news soon spread through the village. Soon the merchant who had given him the dozen boiled eggs knocked at Amin's door. "Pay back the debt you owe me," he said. "Give me 500 silver coins for the eggs you bought." Amin refused to pay such a large sum, so the merchant took his complaint to the judge. The merchant appeared in court, but there was no sign of Amin. The judge waited and waited. Suddenly, Amin rushed in out of breath. At once the merchant said, "My lord, 7 years old, this man took 12 eggs from me. 12 eggs would have become 12 chickens. These chickens would have become hens and cocks. The hens would have laid more eggs. The eggs would have hatched into chickens. After 7 years, I would have had a large flock of birds. Now Amin must pay me 500 silver coins for all the birds I have lost." Now come on the page 13. "You are right," agreed the judge. He returned to Amin with an angry look and said, "What do you have to say? And by the way, why are you late?" Amin said, "My lord, I had a plate of boiled beans in the house before coming here. I planted them in the garden so that I will have a good crop next year." "Fool," exclaimed the judge, "how can boiled beans grow into anything?" Amin replied, "Yes, indeed, my lord. And how can boiled eggs hatch into chickens?" And that's how Amin won his case. This is a short story about two persons, Amin and a merchant. Once Amin lost his crops because there was too little rain. He decided to work in another village. Before leaving, he took a dozen hard-boiled eggs from a merchant. He promised to pay him when he will return. For 7 years, Amin worked hard and returned back with bags full of gold and silver coins. Amin became a rich man. Soon the merchant demanded money from Amin for the eggs, which he bought Amin to pay him. The merchant did not ask the judge to solve this issue. Both appeared before the judge, but Amin was late. When the judge tried to know the reason of arriving late, he told the judge that he was planting boiled beans in the house. In this way, judge came to know that how can boiled eggs be hatched. In the end, we learned that Amin won the case. In this lesson, you can also understand the story. Now come on the difficult words and their meanings. Drought, a long period of time when there is no rain. Debt, money that you have borrowed and have to pay back. Out of breath, breathing with difficulty. My lord, a phrase used to address a judge. Dear students, write them. Now come on the word sentences. Drought, the drought damaged the crops. Debt, the company was in debt. Out of breath, she ran so fast that she was out of breath. Amin returned to his village. Write on the word sentences. Now come on the question answers of this unit. Why do you think Amin bought hard boiled eggs? Answer. Amin bought hard boiled eggs because he wanted to get money. How did Amin win the case? Answer. Amin proved that boiled eggs cannot hatch into chickens. Dear students, now you can understand the lesson and also the words meaning, word sentences and also the question answers of this unit number 1. You write down on your notebooks and also read them and also learn them by heart. I say Allah Hafiz to all of you. Take a good care of yourself. Allah.